is my last meeting. I had to get it all out in that one chapter. It is so awesome to see everybody tonight. Welcome. We're going to start with the pledge, so please stand if you can and join us. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a couple of points of business to do first, and then we have a fabulous meeting ahead of us. So we have minutes up for approval. I'll ask for motions, please. Beth and Jen, questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously. Thank you. And warrants? Julianne first. Megan, would you like to go second? Yeah. Questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously. Great. So I get to start off with a really fabulous thing. Each year we recognize a volunteer of the year, and I have something to read here to recognize our volunteer of the year. While the events and contributions of PTSA are many and varied and fantastic, this year there has been one outstanding constant, especially at the events themselves, and that is President Jennifer Berry. PTSA relies on the work and the heart of its membership. Jennifer enthusiastically and consistently gives all of that, and has done so while also creating the systems that keep the organization financially and procedurally sound, as well as sustainable. And she does it all inclusively and lovingly, like family game nights, free and fun events for families with young children, and dances with a special someone. Students are also welcome at PTSA meetings and encouraged to share their thoughts. What better way to help kids grow and succeed than to model and cultivate productive and positive civic engagement? Including kids also allows more parents to attend meetings, which is the goal. And the meetings provide so much value. Presentations often offer information as well as put faces to the names of district leaders, and they are free and open to all. Jennifer works hard to build relationships and to gather information so that the meetings are productive, enjoyable, and satisfying. A good PTSA supports its school district. A great one makes a world of difference. Thanks to Jennifer, ours does just that. Give your mom a hug if you want. And one more recognition before we get to the next event. I'd been around Amy once or twice through events associated with the professional women of the Finger Lakes, but I didn't know her at all. When I knew we would have an open seat on the board 5 years ago, I started to ask around, and Amy's name came up as someone who devotes her time and considerable talents to the greater good. So I actually thought she might be too busy to run, but figured it was worth a shot. I got her number, I texted, and to my delight, she said yes, immediately. For 5 years, Amy has continued her impressive record of sharing. For our students, she's a wealth of experience in the world of finances, and for the board, her skill and compassion and expertise in the field of human resources have brought so much insight. At board meetings, her positive and good nature are a delight. As her professional star continues to rise, we are sad to see her go, but we're equally grateful for her contributions during her time on the board. Thank you, Amy. yes, we have a commendation, and I will ask your motions, please. Amy and Julianne, questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay. Somebody else's turn.
Well, geez, that's tough to follow, but we do have one more board member stepping off the board, not just Amy, and I think we have a few people that'd like to say a few words about that.
Well, Beth and I have decided we're gonna be the ones to talk just before she starts bawling. Coming, we know it's coming.
Words.
What's funny is between the three of us, there's 60 years of board experience. We're losing 20 of those tonight, although she's not going anywhere, we've made it perfectly clear. You've done a lot, you've built trust, and that's number one. Everybody in this room will say, there's one person, there's one person who's built trust. You know, 'cause nobody, not too many people knew Jeanie before. I've known Jeanie since day one. Karen was her emergency pickup, and she was our emergency pickup back before any of this board stuff ever came into our hearts. Go ahead, Beth.
No. Got the lion's share.
I did okay.
Yeah, go.
So even though you think you're leaving, and that one tag over there says whatever it does. Oh, by the way,
Board member.
if you want to run for the board, you will never age. This is the picture from 21 years ago that they took of her, and it's still on her card today. Mine is from, yeah?
Mine says Art of Educot. All the others have worn off after 21 years.
Now you have one that says volunteer.
I just want to say, thank you for taking John and I along on this really fun, occasionally crazy ride of board service. It wouldn't have been the same with any other person. Thank you.
A friend. I think she's a friend before she's a president.
Yeah, but she's really good.
Now when we're older, now our kids are easy contact for each other.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, everybody. It has been the best experience ever. If you are ever thinking about how to make your life better, serve on the Board of Education, specifically here. It is absolutely phenomenal. So thank you, everybody, for everything.
Back to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Just one more comment about the board. Board service, I find it so admirable. I honestly don't know how you do it. I get why you do it, but I don't know how you put yourself out there, and to do so, to me, is just so courageous. To be an impactful board member, you're volunteering, as you know, because you all are, a tremendous amount of time. You're sacrificing your own personal life, your families. To be informed, to be present takes so much time, and your service truly does impact so many deeply. And you do this because you care about our school system, you care about our students, our families, this community, the staff. It's just so evident in everything you do, all of your actions, and to me, it's really how you approach it with genuine sincerity that really stands out for me. And so while you're hopping off the board, I hope you remain connected and involved in whatever capacity you feel comfortable, because we want to see you around and we are so appreciative of everything you do. And so we have these wonderful gifts to give you, your nameplates. We won't need them any longer. I'm sure you have some great use for those. And a small token of appreciation as we also share with our retirees as well. So thank you for all of your service to the board. We really, really do appreciate you. And we're not letting you go quite yet. Okay, moving on to the next. I'm trying to think about the order here. We have many special guests with us tonight, none more important than those who are about to retire after a career working in the Canandaigua City School District. I'd like like to invite our retirees, if you would, we're not gonna throw anything at you, I promise. To stand along this wall here, for the next portion, because we have some things we want you to see and we want to be able to interact with you. So if you would, could you, and are willing to stand over here along the wall, that would be really helpful to us.
Woo!
We've got chairs over here too, so grab your seat, so.
So you don't have to stand too long, I promise. We'll kind of move through this a little bit. But Debbie was doing some math earlier, and I think with this year's retired group, 560 years of service, 560 years of service with our retirees this year. You have made a difference. You made an impact far beyond that which you will likely know. But for the rest of your life, you will be reminded each time you see a former student or former colleague or family who you've impacted. They will make it clear that you have made a difference. In what other profession do you expand your circle, your realm of influence, as you do working in public education? The hundreds, or more accurately, the thousands of people you have interacted with and become acquainted with will stay with you forever. And to truly be reflective, they are part of the story of who you are to this day. They have helped shape you. We've asked you to share some of your favorite memories in your time here in Canandaigua. And Debbie, thanks to Debbie, she took all of those pieces and we had to narrow it down so it would be readable on a screen. And we've created a short video to tribute all of you. So let's enjoy that video next. switched it on purpose. We wanted our families and our student athletes to be able to hear and see the importance that we hold in all of you as professionals. Debbie and I were talking leading up to this. We never know how many are going to show up to this invite. We don't ask for an RSVP, we just put it out there. And we'd like to just say a few words and recognize you. And we were talking the other day, and she showed me the list. I said, they're all gonna show up. I know this group, they show up. They show up for kids, they show up for each other, they show up for their college, for the community, everything. So when you all walked, well, actually, there was like 5 minutes before the meeting, there was like 3 of them here, and I thought, oh my goodness, I totally misread. But you all showed up because that's what you've done your entire career. We'd ask that you would remain where you are, because when we're done, the board would like to come around and give you a small token of their appreciation. But on behalf of the Canada City School District, thank you for all you've given to our school system. We are forever grateful for you. And please come back and visit. Hands up.
Because I need to hurt this again. Thank you so much for making that so nice. So nice to see you.
Those shades that cover the tears, you don't want to leave.
I do. I get a point. I'm doing the, we're all good,
Yeah, stay in touch for sure.
I can go this way.
Congratulations.
Couple days.
A lot more years to have fun. Yeah. Be a $1 billion business, maybe build one.
So retirees, I know our board meetings are super exciting, and you probably really want to stay and watch all of it. You're welcome to. If you do decide to stay and watch all of it, we'd like you to at least go outside first and take a picture. Amy Hawkins has been voluntold of all the retirees for us. And after the picture, if you escape, no one's going to turn you in. And if you want to come back in, you're more than welcome to. But thank you for everything you've done for our community.
You guys still have to come to work tomorrow. Beth starts crying. Oh, shit.
Feeling nervous?
Whatever you told me.
You've been here before, you know, like, we'll do it like we're going that way. There you go. Everyone, yeah, perfect. Follow it.
So, I guess we're going back to the board meeting here, and more recognitions. So Caroline Chapman, our Director of Communications and Athletics, is here tonight to recognize for everybody our spring athletes and a lot of success we had this spring. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Caroline.
Thanks. So we had a really dry spring, so it was really great. It was a really great spring sports season, but we had a lot of challenges, and we're really thankful. The bus drivers, from the bus drivers to the maintenance team to the secretary in my office, who we just start juggling things after a while. And so I just want to recognize that and know that we know that people's time is valuable, and it's very challenging when we have to reschedule lots and lots of things, so thank you for that. So we had a great spring. We had a lot of success that we're going to recognize tonight, and then we have a few of our athletes here. We usually are over there, so I gotta over here. And just, if you want to maybe just say your name so that everyone knows who's here tonight.
I'm Reese Robinson. I'm Abby Shanks. I'm Violet Nichols.
And Albert Hawkins.
I'm Marshall Doster. I'm Patrick Mulvaney. I'm Brett Eagle.
And I'm Cole Harris.
And we have a few others who couldn't make it. There's a concert tonight, and this is the quickest turnaround we've had. A couple people, at least one of these people is still competing, so we have a lot of things going on. First we got Wyatt, who is actually the one still competing. He's in the 110 meter hurdles. His fastest time was 15.1. He's got a couple times at the end of the season, and he's in the state meet at Webster this weekend. So he is a sophomore, so we've got some exciting big things to come, but he came on strong at the end of the season, and he had the 15.1 at a race at state sectionals, right, was when he got that, and then he duplicated it, so that was really exciting, and we're looking forward to some great things from Wyatt this weekend. They're at Webster, so really close. You can sleep in your own bed, which is exciting, to compete in sectionals, and big things to come for Wyatt. He also won the league championship, which we hosted, and I want to shout out to Beth Robinson and Matt Ward, who helped with that event, and Laura. It was the rainiest Saturday of the year, and we tried to host the meet, but Wyatt won one of the 5 races that we were able to get off that day. Ryan Weller's not here. He probably has been honored 6 or 7 times at this event. He won the 300,000 meter steeplechase and is also competing in the state meet. The girls 4x8 was 5th best in the section out of 71 teams. So they had an outstanding time of 9:51. Grace Ross, Kaylin Burke, and Reese Robinson are coming back. And then Anna Symwinski is a senior graduating, but I think we have a couple of younger people who we think we can step in. And Reese is here. And so it was the same relay from the indoor track season, and they really benefited from, that camaraderie. Unified basketball, if you haven't been, I highly recommend, first of all. And it was a great season, and Abby's up here, and she was a partner on the team working with other students, and she didn't only just work with them at basketball, but she also, what did you leave on Fridays?
I run an inclusive improv theater group for all the kids at the high school, in Mr. Group and Mr. Artist class.
And so they are up on stage feeding off each other, trying to make people laugh, essentially, and it is really great. And so she is an outstanding partner on the unified basketball team. Another athlete we honored was Dakota Richards. He saw a lot of growth in his basketball skills over his time on the unified basketball team. And he went from not really being able to make a shot to consistently, he had a really high scoring percentage, shooting percentage. He was always making his layups. Lila Sickles is here. She's seen there. This was the game we hosted during the school day. And so the student athletes got to play in front of their peers on our surprise, I'm gonna use air quotes there, surprise spring fling day. And Lila was on the unified bowling and basketball teams along with playing soccer. And so we're gonna miss her, and I know she enjoyed especially being a unified athlete. What do you think's the best part of it?
Just seeing kids like improve over the season and being so happy to like be involved in sports as kids typically wouldn't be on the varsity team. So it's really brightens everyone's day, not just the players, but everyone watching too.
Yes. Speaking of smiles, Timmy Tiffany, good segue. This was at the school game, and he was just so excited. He had just nailed a 3-pointer. Some other peers were not as excited, obviously. And he was on fire, but he had another one, and the video went a little viral. He made a, close to a little in from half court, but well beyond the 3-point line. He made a shot against Victor from pretty far out. And after I wasn't there, and Coach Bruce like, you just should have seen how big his smile was. So then he made another 3-pointer, and we finally got it on film. But he was just so excited, and you saw his improvement and his confidence. You see the confidence in the hallway. You see the confidence when you see them at the coffee shop or in classes. And so it's a great program, so we highly recommend. We had unified basketball and unified bowling. And last year we were the first school district in New York State to be named a unified school for both high school and middle school, because we also offer middle school unified basketball. Sarah Goodstill's not here, but she had a great softball season. Every stolen base she tried to do, she made it, so she had 100% stolen base percentage. She had a .393 batting average and 18 putouts from center field, so she was a 4-year varsity starter, so we're gonna miss Sarah. She was actually the lone senior on the softball team that had a great improved record this year. Oliver Hawkins is here. Oliver, the way we do tennis divisions is there's something called the UTR, which is the Universal Tennis Rating, and so the higher the team's Universal Tennis Rating, they're in a different division, and so we were in the highest division for boys tennis, right, Coach Hawkins? Yeah. We won the Sportsmanship Award in that division. But it's also tough, right? It's a tougher division. It means that you're playing some very challenging, traditionally strong baseball or tennis schools, and so it's important to know that Oliver played in first singles, which is against the toughest opponent every match, and he was 8-9 for the season. And so he was a really strong season, and we look forward as he's also a sophomore. Great things to come. Our girls lacrosse players are not here, but when I went through the statistics, I'd like to know that in every major statistical category, there was a different girl leading the way. Different in assists, different in goals, different in points, ground balls, caused turnovers. And so that is interesting because that means there was good balance. And so that's what we kind of like to look for. So Maddie Pasalaka was the Division III Defensive Player of the Year. Lola Shore had 44 assists to lead the team. Macy Muller had the most goals with 51. Leah Sheridan had the most points with 81. Kira Giuseppe had the most draw controls with 72. And Maddie Pasalaka had the most caused turnovers. So just a balanced team. They were 12-6 on the year. A really fun team to watch, and looking forward to more fun in the future. Marshall's here. He's been on the varsity, this is your third year on varsity? Fourth year on the varsity lacrosse team. One more year left with Marshall. He had 24 points, though he's a defender, so that's tough to do, 12 goals and 12 assists. And looking for great things to come next year. And then Patrick Albani is graduating, but he led the team with 57 points on 30 goals and 27 assists at attack. And so Patrick's graduating, a senior, and looking forward to some great things in the future. Brett Yakel. I used the same picture last year, sorry Brett. It's hard to get to tennis or golf matches, but Brett and the golf team, I keep saying the wrong sport, they ended the season, they were like 1-5, and Coach Yancey's like, we're almost there, we're right there. And then at the end of the year, we won the last 10 matches. And we play at some really competitive, tough golf courses. And so it was a great season, and Brett averaged 39.6. So he went to sectionals, and he had a great average. That's for 9 holes, obviously. Tyler Christopher's not here, but his stats were he had a 392 batting average. He was mainly the designated hitter, but he also pitched 26 innings. And he had 4 doubles and 2 home runs in the season, so he was a first-team All-Star. And that's kind of the common thread, is all these people were first-team All-Stars that I've named. And then Cole Harris is here, and Cole was the D3 Player of the Year for boys baseball. And I could talk about many different things that he did. 465 batting average, 34 RBIs, 2 triples, also a pitcher. He walked 21 times and only struck out 9 times. It's a good ratio. But he had a home run in this, that last game that we'll be talking about maybe forever. And it was a great home run. Yeah, Mrs. Brenke was there. She's a baseball fan. And it hit the fair pole, or the foul pole, whatever you prefer to call it. And it, we were waiting, you knew it was going out of the park, but you didn't know if it was gonna stay fair. And it was a really, Coach Worth's been to quite a few baseball games. What did you think about that home run?
Oh, that was amazing.
It was amazing. But he also had a great season beyond the home run. And so we wanted to recognize Cole and the team, and Coach Worth, Coach Main, and Coach Tupper are here, and they were the Section 5 Class AA champs. So that was a very exciting season. Coach Main has won now 10 sectional titles, 5 with Canandaigua, 5 with Red Jacket. Coach Tupper has the distinction of winning 2 this year, bowling and baseball. And then Coach Worth, this was his 5th sectional championship. So we had a great spring where we had a lot of success in golf. You don't necessarily see the golf team. You can't actually see the golf team because they go out on these courses. But we had a lot of success at that, especially at the end of the season, which was when you want it to happen. And so we had a great year, but more things to come, and always can improve. And we want to win more sectional championships, but also more sportsmanship awards and more things where we are working together. Any questions?
I have something.
Yes, Mr. Farr.
Why, didn't he break the school record? Like a long-standing school record, right?
Yes, I think it was an exchange student, we decided, right? Is that what it was, 1990? Wow. 90.
That's a sophomore school record, that's pretty
Yeah.
impressive. Something that stood for 36 years.
Yes.
Okay, my math is correct.
Right.
And goal, that wasn't just a home run.
That's true,
That was not just a home run, that was a grand slam.
Grand slam.
To give us the lead with only 1 inning remaining,
We
right?
didn't end up winning that game, but the game before was also very exciting, where we had a walk-off. There's baseball, like the first inning at Frontier Field, whatever you wanna call it, hasn't been named now, but was 54 minutes long, and we were on the low end of the score. It was 6-0, and I was like, oh God, this is gonna be a really long night. And then we chipped away, and that home run was in the 6th inning. We did end up unfortunately losing the game at around 10:30 on a Monday night. And it was but it was really exciting. The atmosphere was great, and people came out who I had never seen at a baseball game, and they came out and they cheered for us, and they were excited, and it was a really fun atmosphere. So that was a grand slam. And then that team ended up going to Grand Island the next day and got beat by a grand slam at Grand Island. So, yeah.
And then I think just the last thing, well, you're all so amazing in your own individual ways, and I think you always represent the best of Canandaigua. We see you competing, we see you in the hallways, we see you in the classrooms, and we just are appreciative of everything you do to represent Canandaigua, the community, and your families in such a positive way. Mrs. Chapman did reference Evie's improv class. President Grimm and I were able to join improv
Are you gonna
last
demonstrate?
Friday.
Abby and Oliver would probably not want us to, having observed us.
I wasn't good at it, I'll be clear, I was not good. Jeanie she was good at it, but you're so natural. I hope you go into teaching. I know you have other plans, but I think you'd be a phenomenal teacher. But that was really fun. Just, you all do such great things.
I want to mention one more accolade. We also were the league champion in our division for boys track. So they had a great season, a lot of improvement throughout the year. And so that was fun, and they placed higher at sectionals than they had in many years. So that was a great part of the season too.
Lots lots of parents and grandparents and teachers in the audience. Thank you for getting your kids to where they are, literally to where they have to practice and to where they are in life. They're really super representatives of the district, so thank you for everything. Congratulations, thanks for being here. Thank you for being with us.
You know, I should just jump right in. Wait, there's more? There's more. Well, good evening, everyone. This is our strategic plan update for spring. Typically, what I get an opportunity to do is provide you with some context and background for some of the activities associated with our strategic plan. As you are aware, we have our 4 strategic plan goals. I've invited Heidi Robb with me here this evening because, as opposed to our traditional or typical kind of update, usually I'll go through each goal and kind of talk about some evidence of accomplishment for each one. We've really been thinking a lot about our strategic plan this year because it really is at the foundation of everything that we do. And so we've thought about it in a different way because we're anchored in these goals, but we really asked ourselves a couple of different guiding questions this year in order to help support how we go about achieving those goals. So it isn't always about, you know, the evidence of accomplishment, the things that we're doing. We're trying to get better at accomplishing those goals. And so we've asked ourselves a couple of questions. The first being, how can we ensure that we are working toward the achievement of these goals in an aligned manner? So as I come before you to present the evidence of accomplishment across those goals, are we all working toward them in a similar, consistent, and clear direction? Is something we've been working very diligently on. The second piece is, how can we add clarity to the how? So it isn't just about the what, it's also the how. And if we can do that in a clear and aligned manner, chances are as an organization, we're gonna move forward in that manner. And so Heidi's here because if you think about when we implemented our strategic plan, a lot of this was sort of kind of on the heels or just prior to COVID. And what the impact of COVID taught us is these goals are not going to be achieved alone or in isolation. And so it was really clear after the disruption of COVID that we had to think differently about how can we do these things as an organization to ensure that that continuity and clarity exists. And so we partnered for the last several years with Solution Tree, which is an outside organization that has provided a ton of support and professional learning to help us address these questions. And as Jean McKenzie, prior to Heidi, helped to support, Heidi's really done an amazing job of picking up where we left off to ensure that the momentum of using our multi-tiered systems of support, or an acronym MTSS, that continuity really does exist. And so what Heidi's done in her first year with us in her new role is to really push us to think differently and better and more deeply about how we can do that in almost an accelerated way. We've had a lot of growth and a lot of progress, and Heidi's done an amazing job in her first year. And so I've invited her here tonight to talk to you a little bit about the work that's gone into it, being someone who last year was completely outside of our organization. How did she, just through her own process and her own role, not only learn about what we're doing, but help us to be better at doing it? And so Heidi, I'm going to turn things over to you to present.
Thank you. So in order to do all of this work, really the work with Solution Tree was to establish professional learning communities. I'm going to call those PLCs for tonight, just to make more sense. But You might hear me say collaborative teams as well, so when you look up there, you see that on that lowest level. And so that really has been the focus, is getting these PLCs up and running to work toward those district goals. We know how important it is for teachers to collaborate together, and that's really what's gonna ensure student success. So we have worked with Solution Tree the past few years, not only for those PLCs, but also to get building guiding coalitions up and running. So I wanna give just a little bit of background about PLCs. So all professional learning communities are centered around these 4 questions. What do we want students to learn? How will we know if they've learned it? What will we do if they didn't learn it? And what will we do if they already know it? And it's this continuous cycle. That's the work that we're doing with our teams. Our guiding coalitions, you just want to take that word students out and put in collaborative teams or teachers. What do we want our collaborative teams to learn? What do we want, or how are we going to know if they've learned it? And that's the work of the guiding coalition. So if I bring this back up, you can see how the guiding coalition supports those PLCs, and then the PLCs are supporting our students. So this year, our plan was to get a district guiding coalition up and running. So if you take a look at that top level, so that was really kind of the charge of this year. And so we, as part of that, we visited other schools and worked with solution trees. And one of the things that we found was that we had some really great things established here in Canandaigua. And if you take a look up at that screen, that's just some of the groups that we already have. So we know all of the opportunities we had with Solution Tree and the visits that we did, we know that they were valuable, but I also wanted to make sure that we weren't just taking something else and making it work here. We wanted to make sure that we were thinking about how all of this is aligned with that great work with PLCs. How do all of these structures already fit in together? So as we were thinking about this, we recognized there was some confusion. So I'm going to take a pause for just a second and put this up here. And so this is a model of change. And we knew there was a little bit of confusion. And so the way that this works, if you take a look across that top row, if you have a vision, people have the skills, they know why we're doing this, we have the available resources, and we have a clear action plan, we're going to see success. So if you look down to the bottom, and that's where we were, there's a little bit of confusion as to how all of this fit together. So that helped us see our vision might be a little bit off. And so that's what our Office of Instruction really worked on, was thinking about how can we create a vision so that we know all of these things are tied together while still maintaining that district guiding coalition and the work that needs to happen at that level. So this is what we created. It's called the Collective Impact Framework. And I'm going to do my best to explain this, but we will have an opportunity at the end for questions if you have any. I'm just going to kind of get through the whole thing first, and then we'll go to questions after Matt wraps us up. But if you look all the way to the left, that column, it shows that district goal areas are across the top, and you might only see 3 there, but that expanding opportunities we really looked at, it spans across those 3 goal areas. Then that next level down is going to be our district level teams that support that particular goal. And then the gray area below that is that school improvement planning team, which are the building SIP goals. And then below that, we have building level teams that support, again, that goal. So if you were to just take a look at that red area, that's really around instruction, those systems and practices to improve teaching and learning. And if you almost think about it as an elevator, that up and down, we have that district level team. Those are all the teams that are focused on that goal. And then if you go down, you see the building level team that's going to be focused on that goal. And the building goals will span across all 3 of those areas. So the similar thing, with that middle goal, here's our district level teams, our building level teams, and so forth. So, like I had said, the initial charge was to have a district guiding coalition, but if you think of everything that could encompass with all of our goals, that's a lot of work for one group, and that's difficult for them to have that breadth of understanding, which is why we want to use these committees that already exist at the district level to make sure they're overseeing that work. And so it has that clear alignment, so people aren't feeling like, where do we fit into that bigger picture? So I'm gonna turn things back over to Matt just to talk a little bit about next steps, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Thanks, Heidi. So next steps are not unlike what we would typically do with a summer opportunity, which we're gonna really anchor in our work this summer as part of our administrative advance to ensure that as an administrative team, we have a comprehensive and full understanding of that collective impact framework, and we're gonna utilize it to try to advance those goals going into next year. But we also, as you saw from the chart, need to engage in some similar learning with our teacher leaders. They too have a role in supporting our work at the ground level with those PLCs or those collaborative teams as Heidi outlined. We've also heard the desire from the board to have those continued updates on our progress. So one of the things that we're hoping to really anchor into this year as part of our administrative advance is not just our goals, but our metrics. We're giving a lot of consideration to the types of goals that we write, thinking about kind of two-stage goals. And what that looks like is, sometimes you write a goal that says 75% of something, but what about the other 25%? So we're gonna try to write goals that have some aspirational pieces for a set number, and then for any number that we think we need to build capacity to, we're really gonna emphasize growth. And so for any of our goals, you're gonna notice that we're gonna have that number that we're gonna set for ourselves based on the data that we have in relationships to the goal that we write. But in any area where we feel as if we need, or we recognize there might be an opportunity for simply growth, and that's gonna be the metric, we're not only going to align our activities to that, but we're gonna try to develop a metric to satisfy, if we didn't quite achieve that aspirational goal, do we at least see growth in some of those areas? We're hoping that framework not only drives the goals within the strategic plan, but it filters down to the building SIP plans, it filters down to the goals that our teacher leaders write for our departments and our grade levels, and perhaps in the future, this may trickle down to individual teacher goals. And it's something that we've been working with CTA on. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag too much, but they're very much in support of a concept of us moving in a direction where goal setting and the alignment, as we both described this evening, is very evident and drives everything that we do. So with that in mind, I invite Heidi back up. If there are any questions, we'd be happy to take them.
I love this. I am wondering with this, how do you determine what level team PLC sees what data, or helps to set your growth goals or where your targets are? How do you determine who gets what? Because there could be a lot here.
Absolutely, and if we go back to these 4 questions, all of these teams should always be using data, right? Like everything we're doing, we should have data in front of us, because how will we know if they've learned it? We need to have that metric somewhere. So we were very strategic with this naming, and actually we had a contest. Michelle Reynolds is the one who named it, Collective Impact Framework. I did hear she used a little AI, but it's still phenomenal. And the idea is that all of these teams should be looking at data to help set their goals. So there's still going to be that district level goal, building goals, and it's gonna trickle down. But we wanna be thoughtful at what data each of them are looking at, and it's going to match up with what is it that we're looking to see if somebody has learned. So that roundabout answer your question, but it's not just gonna be one team looking at data, but that's a huge shift in the way we're running business right now, so it's not gonna happen overnight.
Totally get that. So my next question would be, if you're not gonna generate all this data, are you at some point gonna get to some shared data repository or some sort of board that people can look at, or is there gonna be some sort of report? How do people, get their data?
I would say we're data rich. I mean, we have a lot of data right now. I just don't know how much we're using all of it. And so that's something, we're all working together, but Sarah Callahan's really spearheading some of that work to make sure that we use Infinite Campus. And so there's dashboards and things we can create, but right now we have to make sure we're getting the data in all the right spots. So for example, our benchmarking, we need to make sure we get that. So right now, that's what we're working on, is building some systems to make sure we have access to all of that. Then we can start building reports and different things we'll use. But it's there, it's just a matter of getting it in the right spots so we can actually use it when we need it, not so it's 18 steps to get there.
Got it, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. We have a couple of things ahead of us on the agenda. We have an increased funding for emergency project costs for motions, please. Jen, second. Amy, questions or comments? All in favor? It carries unanimously. Thank you. I'm sorry. Roll call. Sorry. Go ahead.
Mrs. Calabrese?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Personali?
Yes.
Mr. Polimeni?
Yes.
Dr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas? Yes. Mrs. Grimm?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Consensus agenda and supplemental motions, please. Beth, Jen, questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously. Thank you. Student resolution, I need motions, please. Julianne?
I move resolution A.
Okay. A second, please. Amy, questions or comments? All in favor? That passes unanimously. Thank you. Someone reporting out on audit?
Yeah, I
Jen.
don't really look like millions.
Yeah.
So, as usual, audit committee was awesome because of the folks that are very patient there. I can't compliment enough our business office. We had a presentation on the audit process with Tom Zuber, some changes to GASB accounting stuff. A review of our committee self-avail, and a little bit of a discussion on, increases in pre-K-8, which is good news. Extension of the, electric bus implementation, more good news. And a bit higher, state aid, also take that good news. I will say that, looking at our self-evaluation, it's a high-functioning committee, but it's really reflective of the people that support us on that committee. If we didn't have Matt and Colin and the rest of the leadership team, I'd be lost in the weeds somewhere.
They're great. Great. Thank you, Jen.
Yep.
Policy, Beth?
I am moving, hold on. I didn't write it down because it's right here. Second reading for policy 2070, acceptable use of computer systems on behalf of the committee.
Does not need a second. Questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously. Thank you. Anyone go to character?
Happy to meet you.
All right.
So I'll do this really quickly. We had presentations from, representation from each of the buildings with the exception of PES. But we got an update there. Most of the work is really about how do we engage students at the level that they're at. And there was discussion about how it can be challenging to track behavior in a positive way. We have lots of data for negative behaviors and negative outcomes, but how do we recognize things when they're going well? Various committees have done great work on recognizing good character. And there's a lot of benchmarking that happens in that committee too. Where one building will say, we tried this or tried that, somebody else will pick it up. Beyond that, there was a discussion about getting, counselors involved a bit more on things, and I think that might be it.
Thank you. Matt, CIE?
Thank you. So this mic is not as sensitive as the other one. We have our final meeting of the year this Wednesday, but in May, we had also a meeting. We heard some final program review recommendations from career and technical education, as well as our science department. We reviewed the district technology plan. We also engaged in a review of the summer curriculum writing proposals that were approved. And based on the feedback from the committee, we provided an update to CIE about which projects were approved. We also saw feedback from our members. It's always great to use an opportunity to get some feedback to enhance our practices at our meetings. We also did a brief membership update as well as having a professional learning update. So quite a busy month.
word safety meeting, but by the time we were done, he said it was the best safety meeting he's ever attended.
Wow.
I know. Because we went completely off the channel. We approved the safety, plan, that was the big thing, the only thing on the agenda, but then it got into questions of, safety protocols after hours. Some of the members thought the custodian should be the contact point for that, at the same time, Mike was saying they really haven't been trained or told that they're, supposed to be the safety contact after hours. There was a suggestion that our doors be numbered, which makes a lot of sense. You go to Victor or these other districts around, each door has a particular number, door 114 or whatever it might be. Ours are not numbered, and they're told, they've been having problems with events at the middle school, for example, which is the front of the building. So someone will go to the front of the building and they're really in the back of the building, and there's no true numbering or true way to identify a door. So that was a suggestion, that each door have a particular number on it. A big discussion got into the AEDs and the law, whether there has to be, someone at the destination of a field trip that can use an AED, and if there's one there. It really got into a fairly deep discussion. I think we were being led down the wrong path. I never heard any more. Did you ever get any more off that email I sent?
The last I heard is we don't have to, that was the most recent legal, notice, that we did not have to have me either the bus or at our destination. They just need to know how to call for emergency help.
Right.
So most places in New York State are 911, or even the country, you have 911. There are some regions that don't have 911, so you need to know in emergency how to call for assistance, for medical assistance.
And
that was the last guidance we received after you.
And that wasn't the guidance at the safety meeting. At the safety meeting, the guidance was, if you're going on a field trip, you have to make sure there's an AED there and someone that can use it. And that came from our attorney.
Yeah.
And it was wrong. The direction from what I read is the same what Jeanie just said. You really just have to know. You don't have to know where, how to call. Vern brought up the example, well, we just had a Memorial Day parade, the band was there was no AED. I said, but Vern, there's an ambulance in the parade. Then it dawned on him, well, yeah, I guess so. And there's cops there. He goes, well, that's not their job. I said, well, it is their job. It's fun. Essentially, it was our fun. That was the majority of the meeting. There was some questions about some work to be done around the buildings. The buildings have gotten their drills in, and for the most part, that was.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, if we don't adjourn, Amy and Jeanie have to stay on the board, so we can just
That's right.
wait.
No,
That's
right.
You can't leave. Listen, I'm very early in my career in life, I'm just gonna say that, in my future, I will be back. I just need to take a step back while I focus on other things, but I promise you I'll be back.
All in favor?
I love this district. I know about everyone here, you all care more about these kids than anyone else, and I'm so appreciative to be part of it, so, thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jeanie.
Jeanie, you're very awesome.
We gave her so many jobs that
I know.
we can't leave.